I am going to discuss about the subject Network and Cyber Security, presenting by Manjunath Iyer, Assistant Professor, ECE Department, Canara Engineering College from Mangalore.
I am going to discuss about module 2. It's a lecture 2 under module 2. It's related to electronic mail security. Content of this presentation, I am going to discuss about the PGP operations. So also I can say services of PGP, services that we can extract from the PGP. Total there are four services provided by PGP. One is authentication, second one is confidentiality, third one is compression, fourth one is email compatibility. Okay. Now under PGP operations or services, so I am going to talk about the first services or first service of PGP, that is nothing but authentication. Second service provided by PGP, that is confidentiality. Okay. Third one, so combining both authentication and confidentiality. It's like hybrid technology which combines both authentication and confidentiality. So about the remaining services of PGP, I'll discuss in next video. So this is what table gives an idea about operational description of PGP, that is a functions or services. In my last video or last lecture, that is a lecture 1 under module 2, I have given my explanation about this table. Just in briefly I want to say here, digital signature is nothing but authentication, message encryption is nothing but confidentiality, okay, compression and email compatibility. So what algorithms we are using for all four services are given in the second column. So third column is the detailed description of services. So I explained this table content in my previous video. Please, if you are not watched it, please you do watch and watch the second video. So that is video 2 under module 2.
So let me discuss in detail about authentication. So it's one of the goal of network security for email. So authentication we are going to achieve by digital signature standard. Okay, we are using signature for the data which we need to send through email. Okay, so how we are going to put a signature? So we'll discuss in detail. Sender creates a message. So sender is going to create a message, and the same message he wants to send to legitimate receiver or a known or authorized receiver. So the data should not export to the unauthorized user, user or unauthorized third party. So here we are using a technique or algorithm, that is a SHA algorithm, okay, secure hash algorithm, to generate a hash code of length 1160 bit. Okay, length of the hash code is 1160 bit. We are going to generate it by using a SHA algorithm or a SHA function. Here for a hash code, after we have generated a hash code, so that need to be encrypted. Okay, so we need to encrypt by using a RSA algorithm. Okay, so here we are going to achieve what? Signed hash message. So what I mean to say is here, after we have generated a hash code in the second point, so we need to encrypt, send a encrypted hash code. Okay, so we need to go for a encryption. So whether it is either it is a symmetric encryption or asymmetric encryption, so that I will discuss later. So for encryptions we are using a RSA algorithm. So many algorithms are available, so we are using RSA algorithm. So we are going to put a signature of a sender here. Okay, next stage. In the fourth stage, so after we got our generated hash code, and the same hash code is encrypted by using a RSA algorithm, the data will be sent toward receiver. Now the receiver is to do the reverse process of what happened at the sender side. So we need to decrypt the hash code and recovers the hash code. Since encryption is done here, so we need to go for decryption in order to get a hash code. Now the receiver verifies whatever the retrieved hash code is. Receiver is getting at the fourth stage. The receiver need to be verified. Okay, so whether he has got the same hash code or a different hash code. If it is same hash code, so authentication is achieved. If the receiver is not able to retrieve the hash code, okay, not able to receive the exact hash code, so then there is no authentication. So at the receiver side, if receiver is a legitimate receiver, so obviously he is able to retrieve the same hash code which is generated at the senders. If a user is not a legitimate user, he is a hacker, he is trying to get our data, so he is not able to retrieve the same hash code, he is going to retrieve some different hash code. Okay, so this is how we are going to perform the authentication for PGP. So let me discuss about the PGP in detail by taking block diagram. Now this is a block diagram for authentications only. So we are doing only the authentication. Okay, so there is no confidentiality here. So that is what the major drawback of the authentication. So now let's get into the authentication. Block. This is what the authentication block diagram. So source is A, so user A. You need to send a message to the destination, so nothing but user B. Okay, so before sending, lot of process need to be done in order to achieve the security for the data. Now the message we need to send is hem. Okay, we are using a hash code or a hash function. Sorry, we are using a hash function or a hash algorithm. That is what SHA algorithms we are using. So here, okay, the output of hash function is, okay, at this stage we are getting 1160-bit hash code. So also we can say that hash code, the other name for a hash code is message digest. Message digest. Okay, so both are same. So at this stage we are having hash code. So we are not sending a hash code directly. So we will take that hash code for encryption. For encryptions we are using a private key of user A. Private key of user A. Here the output is a different format. Okay, the output is what? Different format. This is an encrypted hash code. This is what? Encrypted hash code. At this stage, just we are having a hash code. Okay, here we have encrypted hash code. So now we are combining. Encrypted hash code. We are concatenating. Okay, here we are going to concatenating encrypted hash code and the message. Okay, and the message. Just we are combining both. So at this stage we have two parts. So one is encrypted hash code, another one is just it's a simple message. Now, so we need to go for compression by using any one compression algorithm. So it generates, okay, what is the output of this stage? It's a zip data or compressed data. That compressed data we are sending. So this is what all the process is done at the sender side. This compressed data we are going to send. okay, over a network by using an email. Now at the receiver side, okay, user B, you need to go exactly the reverse process of, okay, reverse process what the sender has done. Okay, is nothing but you need to unzip, and okay, you will get a two part. So one is having encrypted hash code and another one is message. Okay, so for encrypted hash code, if you perform the decryption, okay, so it will give the hash code. Let's see. Okay, move on to the receiver side. This is what zipped or compressed data. So we need to go for decompress it. While we are decompressing at the receiver side, you need to use the same, okay, algorithms that have been used at the sender side. So that is what Z inverse. So that Z inverse is what? Okay, so it's a decompress. Z means compression, Z inverse is decompress or decompression. So after decompressions, so we will get two part. One is a message, another one is, okay, this part is having what? Alright, encrypted hash code. Okay, in order to encrypt the hash code, we are using private key of user A. So what I have written here, encryption for hash code by using a private key of user A. So here first we will consider what? Encrypted data. We need to go for decompression, de-encryption. So for de-encryptions, we are using a public key of user A. So public key of user A is already shared with the user B. Okay, private key, we know that each user is having pair of key, private key and public key. Private key is so confidential, so we should not share with others. Public key can be shared with, okay, others. So receiver B is having public key of user A, so you need to use the same public key of user A, then you should de-encrypt. So de-encrypted output is what? De-encrypted output is hash code. Okay, so here at this stage we are having hash code or message digest. Now I'll take the message. Okay, at the receiver side I will take the message and I will use the same algorithm, show algorithm. Okay, hash function, show function. So again at the other side is going to get the same hash code. Okay, he is going to get what? Same hash code. So in both the side we are having a hash code. So both the hash code should be encountered for compression. So we need to go for comparison. Okay, we need to go for what? Comparison. If both the hash code are same, then the authentication is done. Okay, both the hash code is the same means, so authentication is done. If the receiver is a legitimate receiver, then he is able to get what? Same hash code. If the receiver is not a genuine or legitimate receiver, so he is going to get a different hash code. So he is not able to achieve what? Authentication. Okay. So now let me come to the point. Okay. So authentication is done by what? By using a DSS, digital signature standard. Okay. So we are going to put a signature for a data, that is a digital data, before the data is being transferred. So then where we are going to put a signature, or where we are going to add a signature, so we are adding a signature by adding or by using private key of user A for hash code. Okay, private key of user A of hash code. So at this stage we are performing what? Digital signature standard by adding a private key of user A. Okay, so we are achieving what? Authentication. This is nothing but digital signature standard. So here only we are able to achieve what? we are only able to achieve the authentication. There is no confidentiality. Why there is no confidentiality? Let's see at the sender side. We are considering a message as it is. We are not performing anything for the message. Just we are concatenating with the encrypted hash code and we are sending it. So there is no confidentiality for a message. So only authentication by using a digital signature standard. So this is what one of the major drawback of authentication. Okay, only, that's why the name is given authentication only. There is no confidentiality. Okay, now let's move on to the next slide. So these are all the points which are related to the previous slide explanation. Detached signature are useful in several contexts. A user may wish to contain a separate signature log of all the messages sent or received. A detached signature of an executable program can detect subsequent virus infection. A detached signature can be used when more than one party must sign a document such as a legal contract, or each person's signature is independent and therefore is applied only to the document. Okay. So one more this thing is what disadvantages I can say. So it is applied only to the document. So detached signature is nothing but at the receiver side he is going to retrieve the hash code, right? He is going to retrieve the hash code. So that is nothing but a detached signature. So this is all about the authentication explanation. So now other network security goal is confidentiality. Okay, so one is authentication and the next one is confidentiality. Let me discuss in detail about how we are achieving confidentiality. Sender forms 128-bit random session key. So it's a secret key. Session key or a secret key, both are same. It's having a length of 128-bit. Okay, and he is using that session key or secret key for encryption. So let's see that session key is using for symmetric encryption or asymmetric encryption later. So most of the time session key or a secret key is for conventional encryption or a symmetric encryption. Encrypts the message with the session key. So by using this session key we are going to encrypt the data or a message. So it attaches the session key encrypted with RSA. So session key or a secret key need to be attached, and the same session key need to be sent to the receiver. So while sending a session key, we are not sending as the same session key format. We are going to change the session key format, like we are changing a plain text to ciphertext, which is unreadable. Ciphertext is unreadable format. Same, the session key is attached, that is encrypted with a RSA algorithm. The same key is using at the sender side and the same for encryption, and the same key is using for decryption at the receiver side. So that is what the meaning here. So this is what symmetric encryption or conventional encryption. Now receiver is going to decrypt decryption and recovers the session key. Okay, in the first step the receiver need to be decrypt the session key and you need to recover the session key, because the session key is going to use for a decryption of a message. At the sender the message is already encrypted by using a secret key. So we need to retrieve the session key first, then the same session key is using for decryption of a message. Session key is used to decrypt the message. Okay, that as I told you in this point, the first you need to retrieve the session key, and the same session key is used to decrypt the message. Now we'll understand, okay, in detail about how the confidentiality is work. Okay, how it is going to work. Now the message that we need to send is M. Okay, is sending by a user A. Let us assume user A is going to send a message A. First step, he will consider the message and then he will apply what? He will go for compression, okay, in order to reduce the size of the message. So he is using some particular algorithm for compression. Then at this stage we are having compressed data. The same message but it is compressed. Now EC, okay, is nothing but conventional encryption. Previously in authentication I have used EP. Here EC, the terms, we need to take care about the terms. EC, conventional encryption, is nothing but symmetric encryption. For a symmetric encryption, so we are using what? KS, secret key or session key. Okay, is nothing but, okay, for a compressed data or a compressed message, we are going to perform the encryption. So that is a conventional encryption. For a conventional encryptions, we are using a session key. This session key should be shared with user B because you need to use the same key for decryption to retrieve the message. But we are not sending this session key, okay, as it is. Okay, we are going to perform some encryption EP, okay, encryption by using a public key of user B. So public key of a user B is already shared with user A. Okay, so user A, he knows that what is a public key of user B, that is receiver. User B is nothing but the receiver. So now session key is encrypted by using a public key of user B. So we will get what? Encrypted secret key. Now the what is the output of this stage? Encrypted secret key. This stage we are having what? Encrypted message, encrypted compressed data or compressed message. Please, I am going to repeat here. At this stage we are having encrypted secret key. At this stage we are having encrypted message. That message is compressed. So we are going to combine or concatenating both and we are releasing that to the network. Okay, or we are releasing the data over a network to the receiver. This is what exactly is going to happen at the sender side. Now, so at this stage we have 2 points. So one is encrypted session key and one is encrypted message. That message is compressed. So this is okay. Again, receiver, you need to go for a reverse process. Okay, what exactly is done at the receiver sender side? First he is going to receive what? 2 part. He is going to receive what? 2 part. First one is encrypted message. EC is conventional encryption. This part is having encrypted message. Okay, for encryptions we are using a secret key, KS. This part is having encrypted session key. Okay, encrypted session key. So EP means what? So we are encrypted by using a public key of user B. Okay, is having secret key KS and for encryptions we are using a public key. Public key of user B. Okay, so let me repeat here. Receiver is going to receive a 2 part. This part is having a encrypted encrypted secret key. For encryptions, we are using a public key of user B. Second part is having a encryption, that is a conventional encryption, having a message. That message is encrypted by using a secret key. So we need to retrieve the message. So in order to retrieve a message, we need to perform a de-encryption. For a de-encryptions, we need secret key. That secret key is present in the first part. So we need to retrieve the secret key first. So we'll consider first this part. Then encryptions is done here. So we need to decrypt it. For a decryptions, since at the sender is using a public key of user B, so you need to use a private key of user B. So user B need to use his private key for decryption. So at this stage, our output of the de-encryption, so we are going to retrieve what? KS. The secret key or a session key is used for de-encryption of message. Now after we are retrieved the secret key, so we need to perform de-encryption. So we go for de-encryptions. So we'll get what? Compressed message. Output of the de-encryption is what? Compressed message. So we need to decompress it. So that is a Z inverse. So for a Z inverse or a decompression, we need to use the same algorithm, the algorithm which is used at the sender side. Here sender side. Same algorithms we are using for decompression. Then finally what we'll get? We are able to get or we are able to retrieve the same message. So this is how the confidentiality is work. It is going to work. So now the message we are not sending as it is, like what we are doing at the in the authentication. So we are taking that message and we are performing some conventional encryption and we are changing the format of message. Plain text or ciphertext. But in case of authentication, just we are combining message with the encrypted hash code. So confidentiality it achieves more secure compared to the authentication. So that's why this name is given as only the confidentiality. Here we are not using any hash code. For the hash code we are not performing any encryption. So we are not considering encryption at all. In order to put signature or in order to have the private key of sender. So confidentiality is more secure as compared to the authentication. So next is a hybrid technology which combines both confidentiality and authentication. In authentication there is no confidentiality because we are sending a message as it is. Just we are having a hash code, and for a hash code we are going to perform some encryption by using both private key of user B. So that is how we are adding signature for authentication. For confidentiality there is no authentication. We are not in confidentiality, we are not sending a message directly, we are performing some encryption, that is a conventional encryption, but here we are not using any signature. That means we are not considering any hash code. But coming to the security purpose, if we have both the features, confidentiality and authentication, it adds more security for the data for email. Now let's see how it works. Can use both services on same message. So if we take confidentiality and authentication both for the message, it adds more security. Here we are going to create a signature. that is for a hash code. Okay, that is for a hash code. We are going to put our signature. Okay, by having or by considering a private key and attached to the message. The signature is attached to what? Message. Now we are going to encrypt both the hash code and the signature. Now attach the RSA encrypted session key. Okay, session key we are not sending directly. So as we studied in the previous slide, or we came to know in the previous slide, we need to perform some encryption on session key in order to change the format of session key. Because the session key need to be shared with the receiver. Now let's discuss in detail by taking block diagram of confidentiality and authentication. Now let's see. We have a message that need to be sent at the sender side. We need to put a signature, or we need to have the authentication. So for a message we need to perform some hash function. So here it is going to generate a hash code. For a hash code we are using a private key as a signature, private key as a signature, and for a hash code we need to perform the encryption. Okay, so at this stage we are getting what? Encrypted hash code. So at this stage we are going to achieve what? Authentication. Okay, we are adding a signature by using private key of user here. Private key of user. So since we are using this signature to send a digital, so it's a digital signature standard. So we are concatenating both the message and encrypted hash code. So up to here it's the same block diagram what we have studied for authentication. Just we are combining both encrypted hash code and the message. We are combining both. Now, so we need to perform the compression by using some compression algorithm. Then at this stage we have both, we have two parts here. At this stage we have two parts, but it is compressed it. So we have a message here. We have a message. So for a message and encrypted hash code, we are going to perform conventional encryption, so or asymmetric encryptions. So it's nothing but we are using the same secret key for encryption and decryption. So this secret key need to be shared with the sender. We are not going to share the secret key in the same format or session key in the same format. We need to perform some encryption here by using a public key of user B, because public key of user B is already shared with user A. Now we are going to concatenate or combining both secret key. At this stage, okay, format of session key is changed because we have performed the encryption over here by using public key of user B. So here message format is already changed because we are using a secret key and we are performing conventional encryption. So we are not sending a message as it is. It's here like the ciphertext. We are combining both. We are combining encrypted secret key and encrypted message. We are concatenating or we are combining. Now we are going to release the same, okay, the data over a network, okay, by using an email. So at this stage, okay, up to here, so this is what is going to happen at the sender side. At the receiver side, okay, receiver is B, you need to go for reverse process. Okay, reverse process. Now that is what is going to receive. It's a concatenating thing, right? It's a concatenated thing. So first part is having secret key, but the secret key is what? Encrypted by using a private key of public key of user B. So performed encryption. What kind of encryption it is? EP. Second part is having what? Message we are having. This is encrypted by using a
session key KS, KS, and what type of encryptions we have performed? EC, conventional encryption. Okay, so now we'll consider first, okay, this part. So we need to retrieve the session key first. Okay, so since sender is using a public key of user B, so he is going to use a private key of user B, because private key is, okay, it is known to the user. User is user B. So we need to perform decryption. So he is going to retrieve what? KS here, KS here, and he is using the same sessional key for what? Decryption. So that is a conventional decryption. So he is getting what? Zipped data or compressed data. See here, compressed data is we are getting here. So we need to perform, okay, decompression. So need to use the same algorithm that has used at the sender side for a compression. Now this is having again okay, after decompression over, we are getting two parts here. See, look at the sender side. Here we are concatenating what? Two things. One is encrypted hash code and another one is message. So we are getting message as it is, but this one is what? I'll write here. This is encrypted. What type of encryption? EP. So this is having what? Hash code, but this hash code is encrypted by using a private key of user A. Private key of user A. So we need to de-encrypt it. So in order to de-encrypt, so we need to use a public key of user A. Public key of user A. So we'll consider this part first. So public key is already shared with user B. So he's using what? Public key of user A, and they will go for de-encryption. Okay, de-encryption. So then after de-encryptions, what is the result? We are getting hash code. Now, so in other side we have a message. We have a message, and for a message we are going to perform, or we are going to use hash function, that is a SHA, okay, SHA function or SHA algorithm. So we are getting hash code in another side. Okay, so one side, in both the side we are having hash code. Okay, then both the hash code will encounter for comparison. If both the hash code is same, then the authentication is achieved. If both the if both the hash code are different, then the authentication is not done. So that means, so some other user, okay, unauthorized person is trying to retrieve the message. So it's a combined, it's a hybrid technology which provides the security of both the confidentiality and authentication. So I hope we have understood okay, about authentication and confidentiality and combining of confidentiality and authentication. Thank you for watching it.